is Marvel Contest of Champions news. Hello, hi. It's felt a long time since I've got in front of the camera and spoken to you lovely people. And yes, Marvel Contest of Champions news is indeed back for a fresh week. There's some stories, because last week there wasn't really any great stories, but, you know, even though Kabam have been incredibly quiet, doesn't mean that they aren't messing up somewhere down the line, and let's face it, there has been an incident where they have messed up on something. But there's a few things coming on, as well as talking about the recent arenas and upcoming arenas that we need to cover in order to keep you in the loop with stuff that's going on in Marvel Contest of Champions. So, as well, just kind of like my quick news is that I am back doing videos. I've gotten over the thing that I've gotten over, sort of. But I am feeling a lot better to then deliver content to my subscribers, as well as Marvel Contest of Champions community in general. And the other thing is that my Marvel Insider account got deactivated, so thanks Marvel Insider. Love you lots. But without further ado, let's jump into the news stories at large. The first story that we're kicking off with is one that I think a lot of people really want answers to. We covered this in Marvel Contest of Champions news last week when we said, and we cried out, we said kabam, what was the reasons for the outages about 2 weeks ago? This is probably the only post that I can find that's related to it. And I think a lot of people will be saying along the same lines as what these people have said, in that we really would like to find out what the hell was going on. There's been no thing like a compensation for the recent outages and issues. And as well, like, you know, why hasn't it been a summoner appreciation event? Because that would go a long way. I mean, a lot of things would go a long way. But to start off with, a long way for us, I think, for our perspective is like gold, health potions, things like that, from a summoner appreciation week. That would be really darn nice. But I think it's answered quite adequately by this gentleman in or lady in the lower bracket, where they've just said, hey, Kabam want you to forget. And that seems to ring true. So I think that, again, we talk about transparency, we talk about knowing and reporting back and finding out what's been going on. And the answer is, we don't know, which I think is pretty darn bad. So hopefully at some point we could get an answer, but it doesn't. I think hold your breath. Don't hold your breath, because, man, don't think we're going to get the answer that we really want. And our next bit of news, while Dorky Diggity Dave is pinging my DMs, I don't know, send me a picture of his penis or something, I don't know what's up. Stop pinging me. All I can hear is this phone vibrating of DDD, like trying to send me the D. I don't want a D. DDD. See, this is what it's for. That's happening next week. And midway through, I've had a bit of lighting failure, so I don't care. I'm continuing on. I've got my vibe. I'm positive. Whatever. I'm having a laugh. Okay, Vanquishing Blows is coming up 2 days time, so the 16th of May, Vanquishing Blows. I was thinking to myself, hey, what's the deal with Vanquishing Blows? Why haven't we had that? I want to get more dust. And the only way you can do it now to accumulate a larger amount of dust is by doing the Vanquishing Blows. I do enjoy these things from time to time, so that is good. You can be really competitive and get a load of dust and helpful stuff that's going to propel you through to get that decent things from the store. 6.9 mil for that 5-star Awakening gem. I am going to go for it. I know that I'm going to get either a Cosmic or a Science, because that is how my luck goes with the game. Bless you, Kabam. The Vanquishing Blows event sees milestones about 1.2 mil, and if you are looking to get yourself at the 20% kind of threshold and higher, then you're going to have to be shooting for at least about, you know, like really high, but you're going to be getting back about 1.8 mil. I need to do some sums. I think a lot of people need to do some sums whether or not like things are actually realistic with regards to Infinity Dust, and I will be doing that in a future video about having to do an understanding your calculations based on the expiry of the event and what you can actually pick up in the Infinity Dust store, which obviously a lot of people are shooting for that 6.9 mil for the 5-star one, but a lot of people are looking at the value of the 4-star one and kind of choosing to get that. I mean, for me, as you know, I'm desperate for a lot of champions to be awakened. A lot of them weren't satisfied for me with regards to the Dark Artifacts crystals, so therefore that's what I'm shooting for. My justifications are that, hey, well, I'll take the rough with the smooth, and if I get the Science or I get the Cosmic, then that's fine. I'm sure something will come my way, but I already have a Cosmic 5-star to use. I already have a terrible amount on, and they are terrible Science threshold of champions, so it can't get any worse really. And all the other ones will be a bonus. Mystics could be used for loads of different and decent champions that come into your roster. I've certainly got some, and at the same time there's loads of different ones over skill, except there's one Blade I want to get awakened and Mutant. hey, I've got an Iceman and I've got 3 5-star crystals to open by the end of the week, so look out for that video. Next story, and on to another page on the forum, and this is a conversation, as it were, about rank down tickets. Now, a lot of people will kind of go, oh, people can bang on about rank down tickets for till the cows come home, but you'll never see anything actually kind of being said about them going into the store regularly for regular drops from Kabam. You know, you'll never see it. That's just the rule of thumb, except for obviously at the end of the year, like close to like Christmas time. Usually it's a case of like, here you go, if you've made a bad decision, here's one, take down and do whatever you want to with. Now, this particular article is very interesting, and a lot of people within the community do weigh in on the situation of rank down tickets, and Kabam Mike does the same. He kind of like has a little bit of a point to be making. I'm not gonna say like talk about this too much, because I do think that it's a very balanced thing that people say, hey, well, we need rank down tickets. A lot of people will say, yes, because you've made a bad decision, therefore you can have one in order to kind of take these down based on the changes in the game. Whereas a lot of people were saying, hey, if you've made that decision, therefore you're stuck with it and you should learn to live with it. You've obviously ranked them up for a reason, and the reason isn't love. So yeah, a very difficult argument to kind of like get to people to understand both sides of it, because it is a case of like one person is right and the other person is right, but for different reasons. And I would say that it's best that you guys should go over and weigh in on the situation. I've told you the both sides. See where you weigh on this. Getting rank rewards without, you know, qualifying for anything? What the heck's this all about? Well, if you're just locked to things like Twitter and social media, you'll know that you're getting some rewards for stuff you've not entered. So basically, like, if you've done no level up, you were getting level up rewards, which is quite cool. You've literally done nothing and you're picking up some rewards for it, which, you know, not a lot of games can say that. So Kabam done effed up there, because it does seem that this was a little bit of a kind of an exploit, but it wasn't an exploit because they're giving you it for free. I don't know really what to say about it. They just really messed up, as per usual. And maybe that was being a little bit rude, but yeah, I just don't get how this can happen as a thing where it's like, I don't know, it's like the coding side of things, like they're twiddling around and, with some kind of coding, and as a result, what it meant was that people were getting out some stuff from it. I don't know. I don't work for Kabam. I'd like to know what they changed with it, but it has been noted and they will be dealing with it. So if you've had some rewards from this and you feel guilty, don't, because they've said you can have this for free and they won't let you have it as a kind of an exploit. So happy days, some free rewards. And next up, the results are in with regards to the Captain America Infinity War version, and I feel good because I got him at 13,600, which was really darn close. I charted in at 729 and I couldn't have cut it finer because it was a very difficult one to pinpoint. And I will go on like another video and talk about like how I pinpointed the correct score. And what I did was I had to do a lot of back research, probably for the last 3 months on Arena, in order to kind of get myself a strong cutoff. And I probably will do a lot more work with regards to understanding cutoffs and predictions in order to kind of give people a more of a correct idea when it comes to these things. But it hasn't been too bad. I think my predictions with regards to Nightcrawler back last week were actually pretty darn close to the mark. I think I said anything between about 1.7 to about 2 mil, and that's correct, or correct about. So hopefully if people went off my advice then, that they got him. I don't say pinpoint against, like, say, yeah, Rich, you know exactly what's going on. No, I don't. I think that's why I call it a prediction with it. But yeah, looking at this Captain America one, pretty darn weird to see the kind of jump back up. Obviously, we had Kovas Glaive go for a lot less last week, which was just ridiculous. That 14 mil when he went, absolutely ridiculous. But obviously, we're down or back even to this 40 mil kind of bracket for the 5-star, which isn't great. You know, I hope we weren't going to go back to those days, but it looks like we're there. The 3-star went for 1 mil and 50,000. So if you're looking to put in a score, I would probably say around that. Maybe add on a further 100,000 just to be safe. And when it comes to the 4-star version, it could go anywhere. For example, if we compare it back to Proxima Midnight's one, when the 4-star was in, and it was about 14.23 for the round 2. When it comes to the round 2 for Infinity War version of Captain America, I think you either have to put an extra 500,000 going up, or it's going to be 500,000 going down. So do be careful with this one, because I'm not quite sure. I'm not a big fan of a midweek grind. I'm more of a fan of a weekend grind, but because it's based on the fact that I have weekends off of work, so therefore I can then prioritize against like what I'm doing around the house and general YouTube work and stuff like that, so I get a real idea of what's happening. So pick and choose your times wisely as to when you're grinding, but I will cover this in a further video. My god, it seems like I'm doing some kind of like weather predictions. I think that's what we should do, is just like over to RichTheMan in the field. Gee, thanks, Rich. We're seeing highs with regards to Proxima Midnight over Russia and other parts of the Far East. Now, when we're looking at Southern America, we're seeing some fantastic Captain America Infinity Wars that are just dropping down when it comes to the midweek. Well, that's round 1 was so darn difficult, but we're seeing the people are getting them over parts of the UK and other areas of Europe. Better wrap up warm, because we've seen Captain America Infinity Wars up in Canada and then dropping down to Proxima Midnights. They're going lower when it comes to being in America. I'm stopping this now. You know what? I thought this would be funny. It's not. So I'm bailing out here. Stopping it. Stop. Honestly, what kind of a comeback video is this? Utter bloody rubbish. Anyway, so that has been the end of Marvel Contest of Champions news, my return, and yeah, with plenty of lighting problems to boot, so that's I'm going to treat that as a good omen. Back to the normal stuff. In any case, thanks very much for watching. If you want to look at any of the articles, the links are always in the description below. I've been RichTheMan. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content, and as always, I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye for now.